we've all heard the term humidity before, and I'm sure you've also heard the word dew point get thrown around from time to time. Well, viewer Robert Nashwick this week asks, why can the dew point get so low, and how can it even be below zero here in El Paso? So let's dive in and break down dew point right now. Dew point is the temperature that air needs to be cooled to in order to achieve what's called saturation, or 100% relative humidity. Once the air then reaches this point, it can't hold any more moisture. It needs to then condense out if it's cooled any further. This is when we'll typically see condensation in different forms, such as fog, precipitation, or dew on the grass, right? Dew point, dew on the grass. And you probably guessed it, the higher the dew point, the more moisture in the air and the more humid it will feel to you and me. And the more comfortable the dew points, usually they're lower in the 50s or below, and it starts feeling a bit muggy out once that reaches the 60s, humid and very humid with dew points in the 70s, and just downright unbearable once it gets into the 80s for those dew points. We almost never see dew points this high here in El Paso because we're not near any source of moisture or a body of water, so our dew points are typically much lower with our dry climate. And as you can see right now, our dew points are currently sitting in the teens and 20s, but they get even lower in the winter because cooler air cannot hold as much moisture. And that's why we can be so dry. And even in the winter, our dew points can be below zero at times because of how little moisture is in the air. So just a quick summary, the lower the dew point, the lower moisture content in the air. And because we're so dry with our desert arid climate, the dew point can fall below zero at times.